Over the past 2 years, the most moral army in the world have destroyed so much of the Gaza Strip and displaced such a large percentage of the Gaza Strip under violent threat of being blown to smithereens that there is no place left to go to. They drop the little papers giving the forced displacement orders for the 20th time, but there is no place to go. It is psychological torture at this point. The government media office in Gaza have released a statement. They released it yesterday where they state that 1 million Palestinians remain in Gaza City and the north, defying forced displacement to the south, while nearly 190,000 have been driven from their homes under the weight of a permanent expulsion plan. There has been a surge in forced displacement in recent days, and out of that 190,000 people that were violently compelled to leave their homes, over 15,000 people have had to return because they got to the quote-unquote designated safe areas, aka Al-Mawasi, and they found that there's no space for them. There's no infrastructure, there's no hospital, there's no water, there's no electricity, there's no food. There's no anything. So like I said, over 15,000 Palestinians returned to their original neighborhoods in Gaza City as of Tuesday afternoon, after temporarily moving furniture and belongings south for safekeeping, only to return due to the near total absence of basic living conditions in the south. The government media office's statement goes on to state that the Mawasi area of Khan Yunis and Rafah, falsely promoted by Israel as a humanitarian safe zone, now shelters roughly 800,000 people, but has been struck by over 109 air raids in the safe zone, which left more than 2,000 people dead in successive massacres carried out by the IOF inside the area itself. The areas that the occupational colony has marked as safe zones only amount to 12% of the total area of the Gaza Strip. And the occupational colony is trying to cram 1.7 million people into that tiny area that has nothing left. And the statement goes on to say that this is a systematic policy of forced displacement aimed at emptying Gaza City and the north of their population, which is, you guessed it, a war crime. And what we all know from the past 2 years at least, and from the past almost 80 years in reality, that this is a genocide, the UN has now come out and officially stated that it is a genocide. Every single official organization, global organization, humanitarian organization has come out to say officially that this is a genocide. And zero, none, goose egg of equitable institutions have come out to say that it's not. That doesn't exist. There's only endless evidence and statements coming out by, again, the most highly regarded humanitarian organizations and global organizations calling it what it is, a genocide. And today, Dropsite News is reporting that leaders of 22 major humanitarian groups are calling on world leaders to urgently intervene, not just send condemnations, intervene. They say governments must act to prevent the evisceration of life in the Gaza Strip and to end the violence and occupation. All parties must disavow violence against civilians, adhere to international humanitarian law, and pursue peace. And they specify that states must use every available political, economic, and legal tool at their disposal to intervene. Rhetoric and half measures are not enough. This moment demands decisive action. The estimates to the number of Palestinians that have been brutally killed within the Gaza Strip is at around 700,000. with over 300,000 of them being children under the age of 5 years old. Rhetoric is not enough. Condemnation is not enough. Even rhetorically recognizing Palestine as a state is not enough. This genocide needs to stop. Above getting aid in, above recognizing Palestine as a state, above anything, the bombs need to stop falling. And if you live in the United States, like me, Our nation is 100% responsible for those bombs falling, and it is up to us as the domestic population of this country, having the closest proximity to this government, to do something to change it, to demand that it changes, and to put our boots on the ground to make sure that this genocide ends.